welcome back to Heroes of the Dorm. That was a very exciting match between Arizona State and Boston College. Boston coming out on top. Let's check back into the commentator's desk for a closer look at the skills and abilities with our very own Kevin Johnson.
Thanks, Michelle. Kevin, it's good to be here with you. How are you doing?
Man, I'm fantastic. That could not have been a better game one. I am so thrilled to be here and so hyped up about this tournament. It's going to be a great one, and in fact, I wanted to take a quick second. It's really an honor to be here with you guys, but we wanted to look at some of the heroes that we've seen in play round of 16 all the way till now, and even in the previous game for Arizona State. We wanted to talk about some of these heroes, give you a deeper dive to look at how they actually function and how these players are approaching their play on Battlegrounds. Let's take a quick look at Tassadar. He's such an important hero. We see him picked all the time, and he's very versatile. Here he is right now. What makes him so versatile? We often call him a hybrid support. Why do we do that? Well, when you think of supports, you often think of them as direct healers. Heroes capable of putting health back into their team, but Tassadar doesn't really work that way. He has more of a diverse tool belt. You see it in his plasma shield, his ability to shield his teammates before they take damage. Of course, Tassadar is also capable of dishing out damage through Psionic Storm. It's an area of effectability that deals damage and can be augmented through talents as he levels throughout the game. He has a get out of jail free card in Dimensional Shift right here, causes him to be invisible. He doesn't take damage and essentially can juke out the opposing team however he likes. He also has two very interesting heroic abilities, Archon, which essentially allows him to deal incredible damage for a short amount of time and be shielded. But then there's the interesting one, the one that has been the story of Arizona State up until this point, and that is Force Wall. Let's talk a little bit about Force Wall through the lens of Kyle Kotank Noble. This guy has absolutely defined the play for this team. It's very clear that they have studied exactly how to get the most out of this ability and have built their team fights around it. We have a really interesting reel of footage from round of 16 and round of 8, so keep in mind this is footage not from today, but from previous elements of the tournament. I want to show you a little bit about this play and dissect it for you as we move into game 2 to get your mind thinking about exactly what they're looking for. All right, let's take a look. So right here, you see the very simple application of Force Wall. Actually, moving on here. First one right here. You see Don't Kill Me K trying to get away. It gives just a little bit of an obstacle so that they can secure the kill on this ETC from Team Maroon. Right there. Super simple. Now, this ability can also be comboed with his team. Right here we see Melko with a Shadow Charge on Gosan. This Zagara gets so much damage taken out because of getting shoved against that Force Wall. Team's able to focus and absolutely basically wreck that Zagara. And right here, this is incredible. The lineup, oh man, so much damage from this Falstad. The Hinterland's Blast takes out Gosan and near lead from Team Maroon so quickly, essentially just deleting them from the team fight. That is exactly what they're looking for in these engagements. They want to make the most of that ability. It's actually a term we like to call zoning. It's the ability to control the battleground and essentially dictate the fight on your own team's rules. We have seen a little bit more application here with Force Wall. I'd like to show you one more quick clip of ways in which we've seen these used through Arizona State too. Right here we see ETC from UT Arlington diving in, and this is fantastic. This Force Wall essentially says, we don't want to fight right now, but we will take your ETC. Watch as DXN 817 just gets erased from that particular fight. And then, you know, a couple other interesting ways you can use it. They actually zone their own warrior out here with the opposing team, essentially saying ETC can take care of itself while we focus on Gosan and Noctis here. And then one more really interesting clip as well, just showing the versatility of them saying, hey, oh my gosh, we're getting jumped on right here. We don't want that engagement. We're not going to fight right now, okay? So they essentially say, we're going to dictate the fights on our pace, we're going to go at our own time, and that's just a really interesting element about the tool. They get to essentially decide when to take fights, which is pretty awesome.
You know, really good explanation of Force Wall there, but what struck me was when you called Dimensional Shift a get out of jail free card, because that's something that I noticed when I first started playing with and against Tassadar, and I noticed in that game as well. Kotank even used that and lived way beyond the rest of his team at the end of that game as well.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it can't really be overstressed how disruptive Force Wall is, because Heroes of the Storm is, it's about mobility. You can get on your mount, encouraged to move faster. Teams are encouraged to rotate via the map objectives. Even Brightwing has a global teleport. And then all of a sudden, Kotank comes along and says, stop.
Absolutely.
And so many compositions are built around disengaging at exact times, being able to engage at exact times. And I mean, it's never chosen. No one has a lot of experience against it. Even before, I was trying to remember what the cooldown was. I always choose Archon if I play Tassadar.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. That's part of what's throwing off these teams. They're not used to even playing against it. So when all of a sudden it's like, you cannot go that way, it doesn't really compute. Yeah.
Let's also take a look here at the MVPs for each team. Let's start with Apollo here. From Boston College. This guy's a great player. Also, I do like the spelling of the name Apollo.
Yeah.
But as you say it fast
Very
enough,
clever player indeed.
Yes, as you do read that out, it is Apollo.
Yeah, one thing that I really love about Apollo is he is the patient assassin. It's so easy to get too overeager and to just step into the fray because that burst damage is addictive. You go, oh, yes, I am going to be the MVP in the fight. And then you can mess up and be gone immediately. But Apollo's been just so durable, just escaping, evading, careful. It's really, really a pleasure to see.
And also, on Arizona State, Steel Rain has been a very impressive player here. He's been really in control in a lot of these matches. What are your guys' thoughts on him?
Well, honestly, I think that it sort of continues on the theme of relying on the teammates' heroics, getting into the good position at the good time, because, I mean, honestly, as much as we've been talking about the amazing engagements of Boston College, Steel Rain continues to be one of the solid lineups on his team, sort of like a hidden hero almost in the lineup.
Yeah, you know, and the tricky thing about this force wall-based play is you really have to be able to anticipate at a moment's notice exactly how to capitalize on the decision that's been made by Kotank, where to place it, how to focus, how to jump on it, and it's really clear that they have spent a ton of time practicing it because it is such split-second decision-making, and it's really fun to watch.
Well, obviously in Heroes of the Storm, it's not just about the heroes, it's not just about the players, it's also about the battlegrounds themselves. Now, the way we have this tournament set up, the losing team gets to pick the following battleground. So we're not going to be on Dragonshire anymore. The map that was picked here by Arizona State is Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, that is a really popular map in Heroes of the Storm. A lot of people consider that their favorite map to play on overall, I being one of them.
And one of the big reasons for that is options. It's a large battleground, there's space. Of course, there's 3 lanes, but the space between them is enormous. The general goal is to collect tributes, which will eventually curse the enemy, disabling their turrets, disabling the enemy minions, with 6 mercenary camps spread out. Plenty of counterplay options. You can sometimes choose to go for the tribute, sometimes choose to avoid that tribute altogether. That level of decision making is something that many high-level players crave, the ability to get out of a sticky situation without feeling like you're forced into a team fight. But that said, this is the sort of game where you can be doing fine, you can be relatively even, but the second you're cursed, your entire plan gets thrown out the window. You're going to lose a lot of forts, you're going to lose a lot of keeps. It's very, very dangerous when the curse finally passes through.
The draft is ready, so now it's time to see which heroes are going to be picked now on this specific battleground, Cursed Hollow. Again, a very different beast of a map when you look at it compared to Dragonshire. How will they start this out? It looks like pick number 1 for Boston College will be Tassadar.
Of course. Of course.
Well, for you.
Our little Tassadar segue right there. We got to jump right into this. We already know a lot about this hero now if you're watching from home.
Well,
and it's not a shocker to see him picked here too. He is just so strong and so versatile.
Well, I'm so excited to see, will they choose Force Wall or will they go with Archon for their heroic ability?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be stressed enough. If you start to go, wow, Kotank's really messing us up. You know what? We're just going to remove Kotank from the game. Kotank doesn't get to play Tassadar. He's ours.
But what if Kotank has an even stronger character? What if he hasn't shown his final form yet?
It's a possibility, but
All right,
Arizona State going straight into Sylvanas, a hero that we saw played last game that was actually pretty darn strong in Diablo.
A Diablo follow-up. The Diablo follow-up is not surprising, but
No, especially on Melkor here. He has shown just fantastic Diablo play. throughout the last couple of rounds. So I'm excited to see him on that again. I'm glad that he got to pick up his hero at least.
I'm curious to see if we will see Sylvanas kick into action. The black arrows trait in the bottom right, that's really the core of Sylvanas. When she shoots, she disables towers. Any minion that gets struck, disabled. It makes her potent if left alone in a lane or if supported by teammates in a lane. In the very first game, Mitt did an amazing job denying Michael Udall's Sylvanas in the north. So that's really going to be the big question. Can Sylvanas have an impact in this game?
We still have two player picks waiting for us here. There's some deliberation here from Boston College. It will be Uther going first here, and I believe we'll have that second pick shown in a second. But Uther, not a bad pick, as we said in the previous game. A lot of abilities to heal while still the damage.
Great support. Last game we saw Uther as well, and he saved a lot of heroes from being taken down. There were a lot of moments where it looked like everyone was going to fall, but just healing them up, giving them divine shields. It was some fantastic play last game.
It's also interesting to note that Boston College, they are picking up Jaina. Okay, Boston College, it didn't seem to want to get damage dealers quickly. They got ETC and Uther early last time, saw what their opponent was up to strategically, and then adjusted. And that's very counter to the way that many teams create their compositions in a draft. Often Jaina, you'll see first pick, we're going to get Jaina right out the gate.
Yeah.
She does huge bursts of damage with all of her abilities.
It's funny because I think normally you're right, we do see Jaina picked first, but I think because of the way Tassadar was played in that last game, it's not surprising that we might see them picked right there early at the start.
Yeah, deny
that out of the way
from your opponent's
exactly.
team.
If you pick one hero, that means they're not getting that hero on their side.
Oh, Tyrande does get picked up, though, for Arizona State. And Day 9, I see you happy over there, as Diablo Tyrande can be a very strong combination.
Yes, you heard me talk about the 4-man roam in Dragonshire. The 2-man roam, Diablo Tyrande, is the 1-2 punch you are going to see all throughout the start of the game. And Brightwing, of course, with such an enormous map, Global Teleport circumvents that easily.
I like the pickup of Brightwing here just because the composition of Boston College is looking like they're setting up to pick up an Illidan. So they're picking up Brightwing here to deter them from picking that hero. Just because, again, Illidan diving in, polymorph, you get bursted down by Tyrande with the Hunter's Mark, and it can be a pretty crazy composition. So Boston College now may have to trade up what they're going for or potentially pick something different. Here we go. ETC as a warrior. I'm wanting maybe one more damage dealer here, and it looks like Kerrigan will be the choice.
It seems like Kerrigan getting a little bit more popular here today.
An unusual team comp like this can definitely throw them off, and they have to, open up the dashboard, turn a few dials and change that up if they're going to be able to deal with it. And yeah, I think the Kerrigan pick is a smart move here, and it's definitely going to throw them off.
So often we talk about Diablo Tyrande as the roamers, given their ability to combo, to stun, and to pick off a target. But Kerrigan was the original, the old school roaming character with her ability to grapple characters in the primal grasp. It can get so large as you get to the mid and higher level talents that you can often catch 2 or 3 running heroes easily.
And whoa, the last pick for ASU is none other than the Lost Vikings. We have got to take a closer look at these guys.
Tim, I need your help. What is Arizona State trying to do with this Lost Vikings pick?
They're wanting to get a lead. The Vikings are a strange hero that you're going to be seeing, as they are 3 individual entities that can actually be controlled by one player. They can be in different lanes at all times. I actually think that we're going to be seeing Arizona State University split up these 3 Vikings, try to grab experience, and also have Diablo Tyrande and potentially one more character just roam like crazy. Grab mercenary camps, try to grab an early advantage and take that and move into the mid game, because right now this composition is a little weird.
Yeah, it certainly is. I really like what you said there. I think what Arizona State wants to get here is a substantial lead early on.
Yeah.
That game last time, it was a bit of a pendulum game. I mean, one team got a little bit of an advantage, and then it went back over to the other side. It was a back and forth. Arizona State perhaps is going in here trying to get some takedowns right away, and we're actually going to be going into game right now. So let's make some noise for game number 2 with Boston College against Arizona State here for the Heroes of the Door.
On the very far left, Boston College. The Boston Eagles will be your blue team. They are currently up 1-0 over their opponents in the very far right side, Arizona State. The red team, also known as the Dream Team. Really quickly here, let's go ahead and show you the battlegrounds. Remember, there will be curses that will be spawning in these locations. Our tributes, our players will have to grab 3 of them to unlock the curse, which will allow them to, of course, take that and push down the map and use it to their advantage.
Well, it looks like right now they're going to stick together, get some of these watchtowers out on the map. That just gives them a little radius of vision, even if they don't have anyone in the area. So they're useful to have if they're on your side of the map.
And we already see right now Boston College roaming as a group. No, excuse me, now splitting up. We see Kerrigan hiding in the bush. You cannot be seen if you're in that bush unless they enter the bush as well. So this is a great way to try to surprise players as they move around through the map. So you want to be very vigilant about that. And already Arizona State with a strong push over here at the southern lane, as they might be trying to take out some of these turrets very quickly.
Yeah, and this is what you can do with the Vikings. You see 4 members down here on the bottom lane grabbing these turrets, which will award them early experience, which will give them a nice lead. If we move to the middle lane really quickly, we see that we have Olaf here, the lone Viking standing guard, grabbing all his experience. His job right now is not to be taken down. The other 2 are up here as well, doing their best, and they actually grab the talent here where you see Eric right there is cloaked at the moment. So Vikings all about soaking those 2 lanes, and the main aggression will be down here in the very far bottom lane.
Well, they are starting to push quite heavily. We have 3 BC members behind that gate trying to hold it off, but really we see Sylvanas and her power going well here. Oh my gosh, looks like Tyrande gonna go down right off the bat.
A bit of a blunder there by Tyrande, perhaps being too aggressive. You know, those turrets were very low on hit points, but the strategy is only effective if you actually manage to take down that and not lose any of your own heroes.
And this is why Kerrigan is actually a strong fit pick here for Boston College, and they actually seem to sniff out the strategy coming from the Arizona State University. And Plato is so good at catching his combos. Look, there goes AKA Face once again. If all 4 members are down here, that's free pickings here for Plato. He loves this area. This is his playground right here.
This is just really great play by BC. They're doing a fantastic job. It looks like we may have Kotank. Yes, Kotank goes down once again here. That is a really big deal.
Incredible misplays here, as we've seen multiple heroes taken down here from Arizona State. Now, in fairness, they have pushed this lane effectively, but at what cost? There's an experience lead right now for Boston College, although Arizona State are starting to do a decent job of catching up.
Yeah, the good news here for Arizona State is they were able to take out a couple turrets, which do award them experience. But right now, this strategy is designed to get them an early lead, and they're actually behind by about half a level right now. Boston College is getting so many picks here, and Arizona State University needs to stop getting caught. It's going to keep hurting them as they move to the mid-game. And now we have a tribute, and fortunately, Arizona State does get a breath of fresh air. It's near them.
Well, we'll see if we're going to have an actual team battle there or not. We do have AKA Face walking up. Actually, we have a whole 4 stack here from ASU. Looks like they really do want to go ahead and grab this tribute.
And notice carefully, what Boston College is doing is allowing them to take the first tribute. The tributes only come into play when you've collected 3 of them. So Boston College playing it safe, keeping their lead, and making sure to not throw this game away.
You know, I got to ask you a question here, Trixler. Has ASU been thrown off? We've already seen Kotank go down twice, where he normally doesn't go down, and the Lost Vikings aren't helping that much.
Yeah, they've been thrown off a little bit, but they're not out of it quite yet. They're still keeping with aggression. They're sticking to the plan, which I think is the correct answer. You never want to be fearful of your opponents and what they've picked. So you're going to keep seeing this aggression here, and their main objective here is to continuously keep moving and not group up, because you don't want to get picked off by Plato. And Plato dives in again, but Tank in trouble already. Jaina bringing the damage. Apollo helping out so much. 2 members going down, and we have Fam trying to run away, but here comes May running in, and Fam 3 members down. Boston College up 1 full level over their opponents. Nice lead
That
down.
is a huge move there by BC.
Very important to note that he managed to keep the fort from being destroyed down there in that push. Had Arizona State destroyed the fort throughout that push, they would have at least achieved something there. But the fact that they were deflected all the way back and 3 heroes were taken out, that's a huge victory for Boston College.
I'm actually kind of curious why these plays are happening so much, as Plato is going against a Brightwing. Brightwing, although easy to pick off, does have that polymorph ability. All he's got to do is hit hit that timing, and it seems like Brightwing seems to be a little bit off in terms of hitting that ability. Hopefully they can transition a little bit better.
The tribute is about to spawn here. Arizona State will take the second tribute. Again, remember, the bottom lane softened quite a bit here. This may be part of their strategy overall, is that they get a weak bottom lane and then try to shove that to the core, maybe for some kind of rush build order we see.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see about that. They have already pushed through to that fort, so next time they hit there, especially if they pick up one more tribute, it's going to be very easy to clear out.
That it will be. So again, although they are a little bit behind, Faceless is correct as well as Dan over here. They're doing their best to keep up in levels. The question is, can they get to level 10 and not start a team fight? You know what? They actually might just go ahead and sacrifice the next tribute and try and set that fort like you were mentioning earlier, which could put them back in an even footing. So the game is not completely over. And you know what? This is just a Viking. Even if he is taken down, it's not the biggest deal. They're going to lose the experience, but it's not a full takedown overall of the normal heroes.
You take down a Viking, there's still 2 left. No problem.
They just keep spawning, man, all day, every day. The middle lane getting some aggression right now as you see a majority of the members moving down. And watch AKA face. He needs to hit these polymorphs. There it is. He did it nicely there. Well done.
Looks like Plato taking quite a bit of damage there for a moment. We do have ASU backing up a little bit, almost daring BC to come forward, but they will back up for now.
I like the play here from Arizona State University. Down in the bottom right corner, you see they're actually grabbing the bruisers instead here because they know they can't get the third tribute.
We have the tribute now spawning in 5 seconds while that mercenary camp in the upper right has been captured. The question right now is, can Boston College stop Arizona State from getting this tribute? Because if Arizona State gets the 3 tributes, their opponent's team will be cursed. And in other words, that means the turrets won't fire. Their minions will die much more quickly. And it's a very scary thing. And it looks like, in fact, the tribute is acquired there by Boston College.
Well, it looks like BC is going to jump in and actually take an engagement here. We do see that other heroic Archon here from Mate on Tassadar. Nice Storm does go down. Right now, AKA Face gets taken out on Brightwing. Melkor taking a lot of damage, but he is backing up.
The advantage here from Boston College is very evident here as all 5 members are alive. The engage was wonderfully done as we had a 5v4 in the middle lane. The stage dive there from ETC. The Tassadar using that Archon mode just to pick out members left and right. And now this fort is in trouble. And remember, Arizona State University hasn't gotten their own fort yet. Their strategy that they plan to do has not worked out for them.
Isn't that funny, the way this started out? Oh, no, you know what? Mirror situation, I guess, on this side of the map. That fort going to have about 2% of its hit points left, and it has to be destroyed in order for the additional minions on your side of the map to take effect. Tribute spawning. This is maybe.
I think we're going to see a team fight here, man.
I think for sure.
BC cannot just let ASU pick this up. Right now we see a lot of zoning. Kerrigan jumps in. A nice pop here on Melkor with that Diablo heroic. Doesn't do as much damage as he was hoping for, though.
And it looks like Sylvanas may be able to get it. The curse has been set, and Arizona State will now push across and attempt to reclaim this game.
Well, it looks like we are going to have a little bit of a team fight still going on here. The Rogue of Lost Vikings getting that ship, dealing some extra damage. Oh, Kerrigan gets away. King Plato running right now, but ASU is chasing.
ASU continuing to push forward right now. The curse is remaining for another 44 seconds, and that means that we're going to have to see some serious defense here from Boston College.
Now, don't forget, when you're cursed, none of your buildings shoot. All of your minions are very low health. It's quite easy for your opponents to get a huge lead, and we see that happening now.
I think the first layer of infrastructure here is going to be entirely wiped out for Boston College.
Yeah, they're going to lose a total of 2 forts as ETC is actually in the very far top left defending against Zappush. But the question is, does Arizona State University want to grab more? Do they want to grab the golem in the very far bottom left, or do they actually want to rotate up? You see them actually all grouping up in this area. We have Boston College right below them, right down the bottom left, actually giving chase. They want to fight, and fighting now when your opponents have the curse is actually a solid choice if you can get them. It forces them to pull back and not push that advantage.
Well, it looks like the curse finally has abated. It looks like these guys, still kind of close in level. 13 against a high level 12 here from ASU. But it looks like Semi-Q gonna get taken out immediately. Nice dive in from Melkor.
Wow, incredible play. And now the turret goes down with ease. And it's pretty amazing, as you can see, the complete, oh my gosh, he's just gonna keep going now. We have BC, I'm gonna try to dive in now and do this level. I was gonna talk about the infrastructure for a second, but now it's really gonna come down to who wins this fight.
Looks like Melkor taking a lot of damage. The Archon on Mate doing out that damage, but they do have to back up. Getting very low on Tassadar, getting very low on Apollo. The Lost Vikings chasing them away.
Yeah, the Vikings may be a couple of goofy characters, but boy, do they bring the damage when they jump in that boat. And right now, Arizona State University, with 4 members up, can push down the middle lane if they would like. They can grab their own golems. They can grab knights. They have so many things they can do. May, though, gets caught as well, and he will be taken out. 2 members still down here for Boston College.
Arizona State is on a roll right now, just rampaging through the map. Is there a chance they're going to go for the boss here? Now, when they get this minion here, the boss, they can capture that. The boss will push the bottom lane directly towards the core, only any structures that are in his way. And remember, if you lose the core in Heroes of the Storm, you lose the game.
Well, it looks like BC is coming down, though. They want a challenge here, and this is one way you can definitely gain an advantage. The boss deals a lot of damage. Looks like they are going to be able to get the boss. No, wait, we do have Semi-Cute charging in here. King Plato as well. Can they steal the boss?
They're trying, man. You see Fabs here with the heal, but no, it was not enough. Semi-Q was forced to run away. Arizona State University takes the goal and takes a couple of takedowns. 3 members taken out here for Boston College, and now they get more rewards. They're taking these bruisers and may push middle.
Man, a very close hold there
That
by
was like
ASU.
3 or 4 victories in one. They got the boss, they got that bruiser camp, and they got 3 takedowns there on Team Boston College, which means the bottom structures here for Boston College's defense are going to be wiped out with ease.
Oh man, they are pushing right in right now to this keep. They are getting closer and closer to that core. Lots of damage coming out from Apollo here, but it's not going to be enough to save this building.
Saw Arizona State University in a situation like this in game number 1. The thing is, Boston College is very good at making comebacks, so Arizona State University needs to be careful. Make sure that they are constantly watching each other's back, and don't let their AKA face, their Brightwing, get picked off, or, of course, their Tyrande. Very huge targets here for Boston College.
And we saw another tribute taken there, so already Arizona State building up to have another massive slam on the opposing team, possibly moving up here to the upper right to the boss, and this is very common. If you take one boss at the bottom, might as well take the other one at the top, since they're going to be defending from that boss, and therefore can't contest this mercenary capture.
Well, it looks like they are going to pick this up just about for free. In the meantime, we do have BC spreading out, grabbing a siege camp, clearing out these lanes as well. They're under a lot of pressure, so they really need to get something to happen.
Okay, so the bottom lane has some aggression coming their way, and you see Boston College, man, they're on the back foot. They have to defend everything being thrown at them, and they have more. They have the golem in the top. They're going to be having these bruisers in the middle lane pretty soon as well that Arizona State University just grabbed. Arizona State now has a situation where they're just waiting for a tribute to spawn because effectively it's theirs.
That's right. How do you possibly fight for the tribute when you have all of these mercenaries out in the camp fighting for you? Look at this. The boss, it's going to take this whole team of 4 to take him down.
And now we see that tribute spawning, and it looks like just one of the Lost Vikings is going to take that easy peasy, as that will be acquired, and that's going to be 2 tributes now here for Arizona State. Meanwhile, pushing the center lane.
Right now, these bruisers going to take a lot of damage from that side storm on Tassadar. Looks like they are going to continue to push forward, though, breaking down these gates, and it looks like they want to go for this keep as well.
I like the aggression here from Arizona State University, but they do need to be careful. Boston College is about to hit 16. They have the power here to fight. If they can get on top of FAM or AKA Face, 2 of those members, they're going to go for it. Here we go. Semi-Cute charging in. Watch the 2 members in the back. Oh my gosh, Semi-Cute gets almost obliterated here. Lightning Breath is burning him down. The Divine Shield is important, but 4 members still in trouble in the bottom left as AKA Face is chasing down with the help of his teammates.
Some nice blocking there by Michael Udall on Kerrigan, but she does in fact get away. Melkor taking a ton of damage here, and Melkor gets taken down. Looks like BC going to be able to push everyone back. AKA Face taking lots of damage.
It's happening! Boston College is turning the tide now. Arizona State, with 3 down right now, is on the run, and the tribute spawning here. If they can collect that tribute and start a comeback, that would be huge. But no! It's actually Arizona State who nabs a tribute back there. denying that for a little bit longer. So it'll be a little bit tougher now for Boston College to move forward.
Yeah, Lone Viking was able to sneak down there and grab that tribute, but the turnarounds in that fight were important. The ice block from Jaina, the amazing Divine Shield from Uther to save Semi-Q. When Semi-Q came back, they were able to fully engage. Nice coordinated teamwork from Boston College. Even though they were a little bit behind, they worked together through sheer teamwork, and they're making a comeback. Right now, the game, once again, like game number 1, is even.
Well, still, we do have more buildings over on the side of ASU, so they're pretty happy about that. Even though a lot of their characters were taken out, they're trying to push here. You know, what does BC do to try to get some building parity here?
Right now, the best thing for them to do is defend as they have the curse on them. So just, you know, wait this out. It's only another 15 seconds. And the thing is, they need to watch out for Arizona State when they're being aggressive. Arizona State has 3 members on their team that are easy to pick off. Bam, a.k.a. Tank, playing heroes that are very low on HP. If they can dive it like we've been seeing with the combo of the Kerrigan and Semi-Q on ETC, they can take someone out very quickly, get a number advantage, and go from there. On the other side, Arizona State University needs to stay grouped up. I want them to keep pushing and keep getting the infrastructure down, because right now, in terms of numbers, they're winning.
Yeah, the problem really is that you can't see Boston College get outside their base.
Yeah, they're stuck.
If they move outside of their base, then these mercenaries that are keeping captured here by Arizona State are just going to overrun them. So they're just in a constant state of defense, hoping for an overextension from from their opponents.
Well, really, this team movement of ASU is so fantastic. They're going for this bruiser camp now. Will we see BC come down and try to pick a fight? Looks like no, we will not. They're going to go ahead, give that up. It's not too hard for them to clear those bruisers.
Yeah, they don't want to move into that area because there's a lot of small corridors that actually Arizona State University is better at in team fights. Boston College is better in open space, like right now. This is where they do want to engage, but even after the key goes down. Here they go for the engagement. A beautiful pull here from Plato, and here goes Semi-Q charging in. There goes a member taken out, as we see Sylvanas, a.k.a. taking trouble as well, and May is chasing down another member in the top left corner.
Tyrande now taken out as well, and it's beginning to spiral out of control. We see the Lost Vikings here in a bit of trouble, now being spread out into the 3 smaller Lost Vikings. But as you can see, Diablo picked off again, and just as you said, Trixler, he does such a fantastic job with those engagements. It's absolutely beautiful.
The aggression was nice there from Boston College. You see them chasing down, moving down the middle. A repeat of what we saw in game number 1. A team fight can turn around at any point in this game, and Arizona State University had to be careful. They were too grouped up in that area, too compact, where Semi-Q and Plato were able to get amazing plays. And now, in the very far top left corner, Boston College trying to take some rewards here as they're going to push down this fort. There's one fort down, and they're going to get level 20 before their opponents.
Very big to get that level 20 once again. It gives you the Storm talent, which is kind of like the heroic ability all over again. It's going to be something very powerful that really influences battles.
And now we see the boss is going to be captured. We did see Tyrande shoot that L out to check and see if that was in fact happening. Now here's an interesting situation. They can't stop the boss, but maybe they could try to grab the tribute instead. Again though, with the boss out, they're going to have to do something to stop that, or their defenses over there are going to be destroyed as well.
And the good news for Boston College is with that golem pushing in the top left corner, Arizona State University is on a timer. They have to come back and defend that eventually. So they're going to try and sneak the tribute. They're actually doing it right now in the very bottom south corner, grabbing that tribute. Arizona State University, it does look like they are going to secure it. They do get it. And we see a lot of transitioning happening in the very far top right corner as well.
Do you feel like that was a mistake that they did not get the boss back there?
Yeah, they didn't actually.
They did not get the boss. I'm very surprised by that.
They freaked out because the tribute popped up, which is fine, but you need to realize they're in a situation where it was 1 tribute versus 0. You can afford to get rid of that tribute and take the golem.
Well, guys,
maybe a small mistake.
I mean, the pressure is on here for these guys.
Yeah.
These teams have actually been playing fantastically, but when you feel like victory might be within your grasp, that's when your heart really starts to beat.
Well, they decided to go ahead and get the golem in the bottom left, which is actually pretty funny because now Boston has this golem, but in the very far top right corner, Arizona State University says thank you, and they grab their own golem.
Tribute spawning again in 10 seconds. That will be in the northeastern part of the battlefield here, and this should actually be a fairly easy pickup here for Arizona State, unless Boston College can really do a great job of contesting it.
Will they actually even try to contest it, though? It's really so far on their opponent's side. They may just leave it there, and in fact, it looks like that is going to be what they choose to do.
Okay, gotta be careful. We see a lot of members in that bush, but with Tassadar popping out the Oracle, it's an ability that allows them to see around the area. They do see that someone is in there. So the second tribute does go Arizona University, and now with the third one coming in pretty soon, Boston College will have to fight that.
It looks like another fort is going to be falling there, and that's really going to bring it a lot closer as far as the building counts go. BC having a bit of an advantage as far as the level goes, but ASU up here clearing the siege camp on their opponent's side of the map.
And let's not forget that in the bottom right, there's a golem pushing up that way that can really tear through that and get to the core. But meanwhile, the real action's up here. It's going to be an all-out team brawl with the boss about to tear down that fort.
Looks like ASU continues to push in. Right now, we just don't have any forts. We don't have any keeps. And that means ultimate pressure is on BC right now.
Boston College realizes they have to go in. Semi-cube charges forward.
We see the ETC stage dive there as the heroic abilities and storm abilities are going down. And it does look like Boston College is beginning to drop like flies. But then, wow, we have another takedown though over here by Tyrande. Now a 4 versus 4. Your HP getting low.
That's right. We see the core actually going very low on health as well, dropping below 50%. They do clear it out, the golem though, and it looks like we do have the Lost Vikings falling down. Still a lot of damage on this core.
The core is slow. They're going to try to take it down in time. Can they do it, or is it an overextension? There's a chance they'll be able to keep it alive.
The menu, they're punching go once it catapulted. Game over. GG.
Unbelievable. It was seconds away there.
I cannot believe what I just saw.
I love it. I'm like, it's so close. I'm like, they're going to be able to keep it alive. It's dead. Really close inning there. It's not done yet. All right, guys, it's tied up 1-1. We are going to a short break, and when we return, we'll start the final game between Boston College and Arizona State.